for the bike rental. This is a first experience for me, renting a bike and riding to the mountains. Seems like there are a lot of options nearby, but this is the one that's recommended by one of the subscribers. Thank you guys. And these are some of the bikes. I'm considering the Dominar because I don't want to deal with the punctures and the headaches of the Himalayan. Why take a chance when you have other alternatives? Condition looks okay. I'll be mounting a bag here. Enough space to sit. Interesting that, these barkbusters hardly protect the levers, but that's okay. The forks and the brakes and the tire wear is what I'm checking. Tire looks okay. Rear looks different. Brakes on the rear are fine. Front maybe not more than 2,000 kilometers. उसके बाद brake pad change करना है. Oh, ये तो loose है यार. This brake lever is fine. ये टूट गया. We have some Hunters. I haven't ridden them. They look in better condition, at least visibly. Tying bags might be slightly tricky because this is an open grab rail, but you can always tie it here and here. So sorted. And this looks like a much more newer bike. This is also something I can consider because the tire wear is new, better condition. ये क्या है? कहाँ पे है गियर? अच्छा इधर दिख रहा है. ओहो ठीक है समझ लिया. ठीक है भैया. Boy, finally we have a motorcycle. That too with some Himalayan flags just to make it much more lively. Trying to get used to the dual system here, and this costed me 1,400 per day, and then there is a security deposit of 2,000. Person who is handling these bikes seemed nice, but there was no discount. The condition of this bike is, let's say, 70 to 80% okay. Obviously for someone with an OCD, we nitpick. I think this is good enough for the next 8 days, and I had to do multiple triple checks, do some test runs, also check every part, because this will be my bike for the next 8-9 days, and I need to get it back in the same conditions. I thought this would be a good experience considering that I'm freshly coming off the Pulsar NS400. That bike is based off this, or an iteration of this, and hence I thought this would be a good experience. Keep in mind that's a pre-production unit. This has done roughly 25,000 kilometers, so a lot has changed. Kindly take it with a pinch of salt when I'm comparing few things, but it's just a good reference point because it's the same engine, same chassis, different reinforcements obviously. Anyway, enough of the bike. Let me quickly get to the hotel, pack and leave because it's 10:30 and it's only getting hotter and hotter.
A few moments later.
The ride to tank up in Khaza Spiti begins. It's 11 a.m, 11:15. Do I have a clock anywhere? Nope. I can only see the end destination. I'm riding with a group who's led by Candida Lewis, if you remember. She toured from India to Australia on a Dominar. And then there is also Daniel Joshi, there is AJ, Ajeta from Bike and Biker, AJ Moto Vlogs. So a lot of influencers are heading to this event, and would be great to catch up and share stories, have a good time. That's the purpose of this event. Unlike the previous vlogs where we're talking about the destination, the time to the destination and all, this series will be different. This series, at least for the first leg or the first chapter, I'll talk about how the Dominar feels. If you have seen my NS400 review, which would come before this, then this would be a good comparo. I really like this charging cable system here. The phone's nicely charging up while the navigation is still there, and the mount's also good. I can adjust it to the sun up and down. It does vibrate, so I hope the OS is fine after this. So let me ride this bike for a short while, and then I'll give you my first thoughts of the Dominar, which is maybe 6 to 8 years old now. So first ride impressions of a 2-year-old bike, but almost 6 to 8-year-old model. Funny. those were some of the nicest 4-lane roads that I've seen in the entire trip. Hence I was able to reach much sooner than expected. But once I hit Mandi, as you can see, the traffic's front brakes are weak, man. I mean, the brake pads have worn out almost. So let me give you quick impressions of the Dominar in compared to the Pulsar. First thing that you notice is the weight. The Pulsar, if you ride it now, if you've been a Dominar user and ride the Pulsar 400, you would feel that it's so light. But if you didn't have an experience of this, you might feel that's okay, on par with the class like the Speed 400. Weight is something that you would notice instantly, but it's not bad. I like the mid-end and the top end of this bike and the low end on that. On highway, when you think you have ran out of power, this does have some power. So I was happily cruising 100 to 120, but then for me, at least on this bike, the front brakes are bad, so I'm starting to use a bit of rear too. Rear ka life acha hai. रुको. చచ్చిపోతావే. Yeah, overtaking trucks, you need to plan on this motorcycle. It's not the peppiest. On the Pulsar, I think in sports mode it felt better, but I like the sound of this motorcycle. It's a bit more mellow. That was like growling. Some might like that in the city, but for touring, I think this still is a better option. Yeah, the suspension on this, the front and back, is sorted. If you get bad roads or off roads, it might not have enough travel and it doesn't behave well. I don't say it bottoms out, but it's just that the travel is less, and the way the suspension behaves with slow bumps is not that great. Whereas the highway bumps and all, it's soaking up really well. These are the high speed bumps. So the suspension behavior at high speed on the Dominar is good. Boy, I am super impressed with the speed at which the infrastructure is getting built here in the Himalayas. Like, this is tunnel number 11. I think 4 more are getting built in between. Manali is another 75 kilometers, and that would be anywhere between 5 to 6 hours from Chandigarh. That is shocking. Wow. Another tunnel number 13. Ridiculous here. Pura tunnel se connected now. I mean, that Mandi district is a bit challenging. Challenging matlab traffic, single lane road and all, but otherwise Chandigarh to Manali now seems like a piece of cake. And the Dominar, for touring in mountains and all, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. So I think if you go left, you go to Kulu, but I need to go straight. 35 kilometers, 1 hour 23 minutes. What's wrong? One thing I miss from the Pulsar though is the riding modes. Like here, I would have been happy to use the off-road mode, and on the highways I could use road or sport. I want to saddle and do these sections, but I'm not sure about the foot pegs. This bike is not meant to be ridden by standing, but people do that still. Just don't feel comfortable doing that. This does have handlebar raisers, so in that sense it's very comfortable, but as I said, this bike is meant for touring. रिजॉर्ट तो इधर ही दिख रहा है. Adventure.
We don't know
Please
who you are.
introduce yourself to the group.
We know you have a low tick.
Hey, that's a subscribed or
That you should ask her.
Yes, we'll start from there.
Mr. Vikas?
Because he's the main guy for the next few days.
Hi guys, I'm Vikas from Manali. So this team I'm working with Canada.
Me and him, we know each other, we met each other, and I sent people to him, but we've never ridden together, you know?
Oh,
So
wow.
that means this trip is only going to help her, not us.
You don't need any help yet. You're riding off-roads enough.
Someone should film.
I love my Sony camera just because of this. See, I can't see how the stream is, but on the camera I can see it clearly. This is the resort. Those are some of the rooms. We have some of the cottages here, but that's just the river stream. The flow has gone up since evening, and man, you see the mountains up there. The light there is the top of the mountain. And this is the room that we are staying. I say we because we have Noel from Kerala. He rides a Desert X. He rode all the way from Kochi. I mean, a friend of mine just called and said, Ajit rode all the way from Bangalore. I said, no, wait, there is another guy who rode all the way from Kochi till here. Now I feel bad I didn't get my multi. But then he had to endure the heat, and that is something I didn't want to do. But hope you had a good ride, man.
Right.
No, I'm saying hope you had a good ride.
I had, yeah, it was nice.
Okay.
Except the heat.
Well, at least the next few days would be cool enough.
Yeah.
Chalo, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and in case watching tonight, have a good night and take care. Bye bye.